The mist cloaks as a blanket of trees keeps warm a sleeping giant. Found at the border between Kenya and Uganda, a marvel of nature reveals itself as the sun pierces its horizon. Western Kenya presents to the world a volcanic masterpiece of nature, known as the Mountain of the Beast. Occasionally goes by Mountain of Illusion, a true convergence of time, culture, and religious beliefs. The enigma of Mount Elgon is truly a splendor to behold.
My name is Josephat Wabua. I'm the senior warden, Mount Elgon National Park, one of the key conservation areas within the Western Conservation area in the country. There's a lot of wildlife to be found within the park. Bird diversity is high, plant diversity is high. We have to access our water catchment area, and it provides a natural setup for Kenyans to enjoy nature in its natural setup. So we encourage people from all walks of life to visit Mount Elgon to enjoy nature in its natural setting, to see the cave feasting elephants, to see the diversity of species, plants and animals, and also to enjoy the nature trails, the mountain climbing trails, and also experience what we call the alternate mountain challenge by going up to Koitobos and Majichumvi on the border of Kenya and Uganda.
Blessed with valleys and cascading streams with a labyrinth of caves that are an amazing adventure for human and animals alike. A true king of awe, crowned by a massive crater known as the Rim of Caldera, with a width of 8 kilometers and a height of 12 kilometers.
In total, we have 4 peaks that lie both in Kenya and Uganda side. So the highest summit lie on Uganda side with an elevation of 4,321 meters above sea level. We call that Wagagai. Then followed closely by Kenya side in the lower Elgon Turn with an altitude of 4,302 meters above sea level. Then number 3 lie in the national park in Trans Nzoia County with an altitude of 4,222 meters above sea level. We call that Koitobos. It's a tall and then it's a flat basalt rock. Then number 4, we have Johnson Peak in Uganda side with an altitude of 4,000 meters above sea level. In between Kenya and Uganda, we have a boiling point of water, hot spring, with a boiling point of 44 degrees.
Encouraging cross-border tourism, where an excursion is conducted of which tourists can cross the border to Uganda from Kenya over the mountain, while taking in the reward of the beautiful scenery. Mount Elgon, on the Kenyan side, has been designated under the Kenyan Wildlife Service as a total conservation zone, where human activity is discouraged with the aim of protecting and conserving the ecosystem. And also under the county government of Bungoma declared a game reserve where the community of Dorobo are allowed to graze domestic animals and coexist with the game that is already prevalent in the park.
Mount Elgon is one of the key water catchment that we have in the country. So in total we have 16 rivers that emigrate from Mount Elgon here. 15 of them goes all the way to Lake Turkana, Lake Victoria, and then one goes to Takwel, and then it goes to Lake Turkana. So we have a lot of people who depend Mount Elgon here indirectly because of the availability of water. So it's our responsibility, all of us, to protect this fragile ecosystem that we have in the country.
Vegetation. Mount Elgon's diverse terrain and ascents of altitude, paired with the kiss of rainfall, produces 4 independently distinct vegetation zones on the Great Mountain. As you traverse the Chellulas circuit, you will be able to see the lush mountain forest, which is 2,000 to 2,500 meters above the sea level. Categorized by dry highland, evergreen type forest, that is a home for over 100 species of ferns, orchids, and lianas. At 3,000 to 3,500 meters, you encounter the vegetation also known as mixed bamboo. It is at this altitude where the mixed bamboo zone is also shared with another zone called the health zone, that is normally attributed with dense scrub and amazing with wildflowers. The moorland zone that ranges between 3,500 to 4,321 meters above sea level, characterized by endemic species of plants on the mountain, with cluster groups of unusual giant grounded plus lobelia plants that are only exclusive to East Africa. The Mount Elgon National Park. Mount Elgon is famously split right down the middle by the Kenya-Uganda border, where both neighboring countries share the shadow of the maverick, that is, the volcanic giant. It is only natural that people travel far and wide to bathe in its splendor. In 1993, Mount Elgon was declared a national park and later approved as the UNESCO Man and Biodiversity Reserve in 2005, standing at an amazing surface area of 169 square kilometers. Sandwiched between its beautiful flora and intriguing fauna, the park is blessed with a variety of scenery which includes caves formed ancient lava tubes named Kitum, Makingeni, Chepialil, and Guarisha.
We have different vegetation that vary from one point to another. In Mount Elgon ecosystem, vegetation that normally found in high altitude example are anthemis, or the everlasting flowers, and the red hot poker. This plant, they are plants that can survive in high altitude. If you see the leaves and the stem, so some of them they are thorny-like to adjust to the high altitude. So due to the high rate of evaporation and windy, so they have been adapted to the large surface area to volume ratio to reduce the rate of evaporation. We have different species of senecio family. In Mount Elgon, we have the Johnson senecio, giant senecio, and giant lobelia. On my left side here is a Johnson senecio with a dry leaf. They have been adapted to the high altitude. They normally grow very slowly, in a centimeter in a year. We have carrot family, cucumbers, green, broad leaves, thorny, they are flesh-like for storage of. In altitude above 3,400 meters above sea level, we have different families of Erica family. One, we have the Stoheba, giant heart. So this plant, if you see the leaves, they are thorny-like, large, we call them large surface area to volume ratio to reduce the rate of evaporation. Even the grass, they have been adapted to the high altitude. So such a plant, if you plant them in a low altitude, they can't survive. Rate of evaporation. Cave imegawanyika mara mbili. Kuna sehemu ya juu na sehemu ya chini. So mahali tuko hapa ni sehemu ya chini ya pango. So hapo awali jamii ya Wakalenjin ambao walikuwa wanapatikana kwa hii cave hawangeweza kukaa kwa hii cave pande ya chini kwa sababu kulikuweko na baridi. Alafu pia chini sio nzuri sana mahali wanaweza kulala. Unaweza kuona ndani pale. Alafu sio deep sana kwenda ndani. Alafu wanyama pia hawangeweza kupata chumvi yoyote hapa ndani. So walikuwa wanaenda kwa sehemu ile ya juu ambayo pango ilikuwa imechimbika kabisa, imeenda ndani.
These caves were up until recently used by local communities for traditional ceremonies, with a unique gallery of bats and spiders using the caves as a place they call home.
And then hiyo ni popo, kuna aina mbili ya ndege hapa. Kuna insectivorous birds and then the fruit eater. So on our incident here, this is volcanic lava tube where magma now used to flow out because of that high pressure and temperature. So meaning on the ground surface initially hapa ndio ilikuwa the weaker point of the surface. So hapa ndio magma ilikuwa ina flow out because of that high pressure and temperature that pushes the liquid magma outside. So they cool and solidify. So these rocks, we call them intrusive rocks. And then you can see the layers. These are different layers. We call them stratus. And then we have a joining here. You can see the line of joining. You can see it extended from here. It goes. Ndio hiyo line. Ndio hiyo inaenda all the way to the other side. Mark tumetoka say almost 200 meters away from here. Meaning Mount Elgon is a composite volcano. And then also we have a pool of water inside there. Naweza mulika ndani pale. You can see. Tupa mawe ndani. Chunga usiende. Chunga sana usiende. We still need you. That's a pool of water. So it extends from my left side all the way to the other side. And then it goes inside. Imagine the eye kuisha.
Not only are the caves home for small creatures, but also giant ones come every once in a while to mine for the natural occurring salt lick. Especially in Kitoom Cave, herds of elephants come to chisel and chip at the rocks, revealing a sultry reward, as well as bushbuck, duiker, and buffalo regularly visiting the cave in search of salt, abound in the mineral-rich earth of the caves. The elusive creatures are normally shy and very wary of eyes of humans.
On my right side here, this is the point of entrance as well as the exit of these herbivorous animals. So they normally enter here and then they start extracting the ash volcanic soil. So we have two types of animals, those that are able to see very clear at night and those which are not able to see. So on my left side here, some animals normally roam around here, like buffalo, waterbuck, because they don't have the compound eyes, and then they start now extracting the ash volcanic soil. Elephant, because they have the nocturnal eyes, they are able to see very clear at night. So they're able to move a distance of 160 meters away from here, and then they start now extracting the ash volcanic soil. So on the left side, on the other side, on the deeper side of the cave, is the point where now community walikuwa wakikaa. So they used to light fire. You can see on the wall the sense of history. So kasi ya moto initially was to scare away the wild animals, to keep themselves warm, and then also providing light to the community as they move inside and outside the cave. So the word Kitoom there, it means a ceremonial site. Hapo ndio jamii walikuwa wanafanyia their ceremonial activity, because the cave is very wide enough that it can accommodate a lot of people inside here. In the beginning nilisema kuna animals ambao zinaweza kuona vizuri, so they are able to extract the salt on the entrance, zingine zinakuja pande hii.
The Makingenyi Cave, which is not far from Kitoom Cave, has a beautiful waterfall.
So the word Makingenyi, it means no salt leaking. There is no salt on Makingenyi soil, but we have cave on this one.
Visitors to the national park are usually gifted with a selection of games since the park is a natural haven. Animals such as leopard, buffalo, waterbuck, bushbuck, olive baboon, giant forest hog, duiker, black and white colobus monkey, and the blue monkey, giraffe, impala, and the zebra. Be sure to drop by between 6:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and from 3:30 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. to get a better view of these marvelous creatures. Mount Elgon is also home to more than 240 species of birds around the mountain. Bird watching can prove to be an interesting hobby for you to indulge in. If you take your time to visit the glade along the quiet forest road, you might be able to spot the thick-billed honeygid and purple-throat cuckoo shrike, among other beautiful creatures of the sky. Other park activities include camping, hiking, mountain climbing, rock climbing, horse riding, and picnicking. The Dorobo people. Mount Elgon is not a home only for wild game and animals. Also, there is a hunter-gatherer community known as the Dorobo, who maintain a lifestyle that embraces the new and celebrates the old ancestral ways. Their unique way of life has turned away from technology and embraces their old pastoral ways, and today has a population of age-old homegrown numbers about 3,000 according to the 2009 census.
Kigenome wakati nebo mnyetet kema banyek chebo teta ndako arwet ndako kuyomyo kururyo kabisa ketilatil angetangware mnyetet yoto ku nebo eng sibat sait age kechore teta kisenik ange ketaseje kongigoji kulile choticho sasa kikenyi kimami sipitalini sasa ku kiketiji techu kimi ketiji tugul alake muje kekase borto ole yundo borto komi ketik chenamegei ak kaboroto. Iwendi ainetab ketik, mi ketik mbalimbali, ketit age konamegei ak borto age. Ketik alak kituiyechindos. Kereriandet age borwonik alak konamegei ak ketik alak mbalimbali. Mbi ketichu kuemi mbalimbali ku kila ket ak bortonyin.
The community rely on age-old tested techniques of farming such as cattle for both dairy and meat productions, and poultry rearing and beekeeping.
Kekas ngwechu sarumaet ang kiamdoi kimnyet ang kutasyine karatik. Alafu kisojet sarungine mae. Alafu hii bambu inaongeza nguvu hii ya kuweka maziwa. Keronginenyi chego angekonor biik mala sikili hii ya kuchoma. Alafu hii ukichoma unafungia hapa. Alafu unasiaga.
Dawa ya
kusaidia mwili yako yote.
Sasa hii ketou kechit kuisha, bas ketou sasa keng'war kuja, bas sasa ketou sasa kenar kule keechi ngwatiet alafu kabakiza nafasi yake. Bas ketou sasa kemal kakengine kule kama ule. Bas ndokao kemal ketou sasa kerate suswek. Ndokekochi sasa suswek barak kenam bertet. Sasa ibure muda ya beti sakamik ibure mbo wiki moja buch kokomi mami yakamach kobur koloite kenam kinem mwenget age kolobo mnyatet ange malek yorurot korete namunenyi muje namune yorurot lita 20 angitukyi sasa simabasaka mite keny yekibore warange lakini besiosiechu sakamik sasa yomache kyom nani yokiminy sakamik sasa isach sokoiwek sasa yoemekei ako kout yukila yasin yoketopchi sasa mat basi wedi sasa kalany mat ngule. Aya sasa ikutyine kule ko sasa yetit konoktoi sakamik. Mami mbakiyeloche lakini besiosiechu alak kiloche tuguk alak kyok. Hii sasa natoa naona sasa huko huwezi kuongeza tena. Ukiona kama nyuki ukitoa yote nyuki hiyo taama mpaka mwingine tena takuja ingia kwa miaka hiyo mwingine, lakini natoanga safari 2-3 basi na wapi.
The community sustains themselves on traditional herbs and methods in case of any illnesses, such as the rapena, that is a natural deworming medicine for both humans and animals. The giant St. John's wort for blood pressure and furore that acts as a natural occurring antibiotic.
We besiosiechu kokonokunon sukulu
soup
mayuke asaraat sukulu rani mite yu ku mitane akoi toboe
Lo
chokokuyam kuba sukul kupitene kekwer kulekite olon. Sasa mbiyoto tiong'ik yoimuche kulekitindos ako tuga kuyembi besiosiechu rayo mebere kitabukoni usia kote kulekititu yobo kemoi kulekite mbasang olo kuye kimakechomwech achek keny hata mbasai makechomchin achek janani kosakas ama kubar tiong'ik kimakechomwech achek kimwoe boe kila yokebar tiong'ik kubeku tuga.
Where to stay? Mount Elgon National Park has a variety of options for anyone waiting to make a visit. These include the KWS self-catering accommodation. The park has options for accommodation available in Kitale and Eldoret, from where access to the park is easy. The Kapkoro Bandas, located within the park, there are 2 cottages divided into 2 self-contained bandas, each having 1 bedroom with 1 double and 1 single bed, which adds up to a total of 4 bedroom bandas. Koitobos Guest House, which is a fully equipped self-contained guest house that contains 3 bedrooms accommodating 10 people. Camping. One has an option of public campsites, namely Nyati, Korlim, and Rongai campsites, and special campsites named Salt Lick Special Campsite. Cranes Haven, for a luxurious tented camp overlooking the Cherangani Hills, which offers accommodation, state-of-the-art restaurant and bar, with loads of fun activities like archery, horse riding, steam bath, and a nature walk. Located in Simbanga, on your way to Cherangani, and Crane Suits, located in Kitale Town CBD. In Kitonyi Heights, which has a beautiful bar, restaurant, and coffee shop, and conference facilities. Mount Elgon National Park is open all year round, with its driest months being from December to February. So welcome to Mount Elgon National Park, untamed wilderness and secluded splendor